My grandma seemed to be the boss of the place all the time, so she was the one that told us different things. And she would tell us different short stories, and all that was done after the supper and bedtime. Oh yeah, that story there she told one night, I guess they had been hearing a lot about Yellowstone water, how the water was down there, and boiling mud and all that kind of stuff. So they got together and they called a meeting amongst the men, the young men, and they told them that they wanted to know if that was really true, if there was country like that over there. So they picked out 3 or 4 young men that willing to go. Incidentally, way back there at that time, they never had horses. They had to walk. But the Assiniboine bands were noted for having young men that could run and walk for great distances. Well, anyway, they picked out 4 to go, got them ready and told them to go and to see, look, Zuyaib is what they call the Assiniboine, Zuyaib. We went to go look things over down there, and they got down to the park, and along the way they saw all kinds of different animals. When they got down there was a lot of elk, a lot of buffalo, and where they were told to, what they were told to look for, they found right away. And where that bad land was, where all the steam and stuff was coming out of Makasija, they called it, there was buffalo down in that area. So they walked down in that area too, and they found where the place where that boiling mud is today. And they noticed that there was steam coming out of the ground ever so often. And all of a sudden, I guess the way they said is, there was a great big noise, and they happened to turn around and look when I guess it was Old Faithful erupting about that time. They saw it, so they were quite a ways away from it. But they decided to go over there. So they did. They went over there. And by the time they got about halfway over there, well, it quietened down. So they were fooling around there, and all of a sudden it erupted again. It scared the dickens out of them, I guess, because they were so close. But they hung around there until it erupted about 3 or 4 times before they went and they started back. So when they got back, they said everything that they heard was true. That land was bad land back in there, Makasija they called it. But they also told them about the buffalo being on that land and everything, so, and told them about that buffalo where the boiling mud was. They stuck their hands in there and said it was boiling, it was hot. So they'd done pretty much everything they were told to do and look for. And they went home and told everything what they saw and what they done. And that was one of the stories that she told. A true story, they say.